think we're live. Good evening from London. This is Dr. Norbert, and I'm here with my friend and ever dapper co-host Huggy Bear, straight out of Sweden. Hello, Huggy.
Hello, Norbert.
Doing well tonight?
I'm doing very well. It's Advent Sunday.
That's right. Advent Sunday. So I think we decided to get to mark the occasion with some festive ties. I think yours is a little more prominent there. Can you, what do you got there? Like little
Little snowmen and reindeers and Santa Clauses.
Nice one. I have some presents, some prezzies up here up front, but if you look here below, I got the classic Saint Nick listening to somebody's wish list there. Probably asking for Hulkbuster because he doesn't live in the UK.
Doesn't?
Yeah, that's an American kid. They don't have anything out there. You know, it's a third world nation, as you know. Anyhow, tonight we have a fantastic match. One of the second, in fact, the last of the two top four matches happening. And this time it'll be Pat Dunford out of London with his Sam Spam playing against, oh gosh, now I've forgotten his real name. Mike, right? Mike D'Ambrose, I think.
Mike,
He goes by Lucky Wild. Um,
Mike Dambois.
Dembois, that's
Or
it. Thank you.
Dambois.
Dembois even.
Dambois or Dambois. I don't know
Don't know.
the correct pronunciation. Sorry, Mike.
So we can call him Lucky. He's going by for Lucky Wild. He's coming to us from the States and is also playing Sam Spam tonight. So an interesting matchup. Now, you have both rosters. Did you have a chance to compare the two to see where there might be some differences?
There are some slight differences. For instance, Lucky or Mike is not running Enchantress, whereas Pat does. And perhaps we should mention that since the TTS League started before the rules updates, the rules for picking crises and the uh, updated characters, for those that are using the old rules. So Enchantress is still her very powerful self in Pat's roster. On the other hand, Mike has Dr. Voodoo, which has some real fun shenanigans depending on what the extract crisis will be. And then Mike is actually running a Hulkbuster,
Woohoo!
uh, whereas Pat is not. Pat has decided to go with a little bit more tech pieces like Hawkeye, Lizard, and he's also got Medusa in there, while Mike has Luke Cage and Magic, which are interesting surprises there.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are
Otherwise, both players are running Nebula, Okoye, Iron Fist, Sam, War Machine, and Vision.
I
So
yeah, go
a
ahead.
lot of characters very similar across rosters, and they're also running more or less the same crises, at least on the extract side. Um, well, Pat has struggled for the cube, whereas Mike has Fear Grips World, as where they terrorize cities. And then we have some differences when it comes to secures, where Mike is running Sword Base, where Pat has Mutant Madman and Gamma Wave.
So this is quite interesting. That you know we're not seeing really a complete mirror of all the top four matches when it comes to their Sam rosters.
Oh no, there are different flavors and different niches even within the Sam roster for sure.
Cool.
And
All
there will
right.
be more of them when the new rules take effect in competitive leagues.
So I have a new like a selfie light thing on my monitor here to hopefully light me up so that I get some attention too than usual because you know you always get loads of fan people telling you how wonderful you look and I get nothing and I'm sure it's because of my crappy lighting. I consider it kind of nice and moody, but it's not getting me the views. So hopefully this is better. Do you think it's any better? I don't know. Thank you, Huggy. There you go. Now I feel better. Right. So let's get rid of this holding image and pop in TTS. Boom. Really looking forward to seeing this match tonight. We know for sure now, spoiler alert, that the other match was won by Morgan Reed from Australia. So that's who will be playing tonight. I'm sure he's watching. If let's see, what time is it there? It's 5 in the morning. He'd be up. He'd be up. Well, thank you, Charles.
Will for sure be the very classic final that we've seen a couple times before between Pat and Morgan is definitely a possibility here.
Have they played each other?
Pat and Morgan?
Yeah.
At least twice
Okay.
in a TTS final, I think.
Wow.
And also in a Battle Realm final.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think they met once in the final and once in a either semifinal or top 8. I'm not sure.
Let's take a look at the crises that we've gotten here tonight. We've got who's red? Pat is red, and I don't know who won priority and all that. We'll have to get that information. But Pat's chosen Research Station, which he loves. That's one thing that he's working really well with his roster, as we've seen before. And the Mike's chosen Portals Overrun City with Spider People, which is a D map, which shares 2 of the same points. So it looks like another scrum in the middle.
Yep. Pat for sure has declared his love for Research Station by picking it the 3rd time in a row, given that he was the one who picked it, of course. I think we missed the priority roll.
Yeah. Let me pop it up here. Hold on.
So it looks like Mike
won.
Mike won priority.
And chose Secures.
So I would somehow assume that Lucky picked the Cures because Research Station is a incredibly popular crisis for the non-prio player.
Okay.
But we'll know soon enough when they start deploying.
Yeah, we'll see how many points that they picked. So you're saying that Mike wanted his own Secures, knowing that he likes Pat's extracts, and so it didn't matter.
Possibly. Pat has Gamma and giving that to the player without priority, as well as together with Pat having Enchantress, could bode for a very rough game scoring-wise if Mike had picked extracts, because he only has Research Station or 2 quite fast extracts, which is Hammers and Spider Infected. So could be that that is how he reasoned.
All right. Let's see what we've got then in terms of points. Let me pull back here a little bit. Okay, let's take a look at Pat's roster since we're more accustomed to him. He has got Koye, Hawkeye, Iron Fist, Captain America, War Machine, and Enchantress. I think this is similar to what we've seen before.
Yeah, it's a different points value though. Pat has picked the same crisis, but has gotten to play at different points values every time. This is 18 points.
18 points. Heroes for Hire, Bitter Rivals, All You've Got, Avengers Assemble, and Field Dressing. All classics, all very strong. On Mike's side of the table, he has taken Vision, excellent choice, Captain America, Iron Fist, War Machine, Okoye, and Luke Cage.
Very, very interesting.
Cards, let me do the cards real quick and then you can give us the analysis. Oop, a little bit of lag. Hang on. Come on. There we go. Field Dressing, All You've Got, Avengers Assemble, Bitter Rivals, Heroes for Hire.
So what we're seeing is basically Enchantress versus Vision and Hawkeye versus Luke Cage.
Amazing. Okay, as far as terrain is going tonight, let me get the, let me turn this thing on. Oop. And get the screen right. There we go. Okay, cool. We have one of Pat's favorite tables as well, which he designed. And I say that because it's got size 4 holders on the table, 2 of them, 2 size 4 pieces, loads of three cargo pieces down the middle, and plenty more on the sides. So who's throwing this stuff? Anybody?
The interesting thing here is that there are no models on the table capable of throwing size 4s, so those two haulers will be remaining there for the entire game, and quite likely have some impact.
Okay. And then we're looking for places for Sam to hide, and I see one already on Pat's side of the table, right?
I actually think that because Mike played Jacob in his earlier game on this exact map,
Oh, yeah.
and then he was very successful and elaborate when it came to his strategy of protecting Sam. So he has for sure been doing some thinking when it comes to that. In earlier games, we've seen Pat liking to put his Sam on his home secure, so to speak.
Yep.
Which is an excellent place for him. He can charge up, make an attack, and then retreat back and be safe, while still contributing to the modifying the board state with his size 2 push on the shield throw.
Yeah, exactly. Mike doesn't have that. Well, he's got it a little bit with this like size 2 Carlos. It's only size 2 though, so it's not going to hide him. But he does have something to kind of backstop himself and also kind of give him cover in the front. But Pat's got the catbird seat, where he's got the size 3 on his side of the table, and he lost priority. So I'm certain that he picked the side of the table on purpose.
Yeah, note that Mike is running Vision, who can throw the size 3s, while Pat's Enchantress can only throw size 2.
There we go. Okay. So size 3 on Mike's side of the table, really nothing. He's got nothing. So well chosen by Pat, so out of the gate.
Pat is, by force of not having priority, he is immediately favored for scoring the Researcher round 1, since he has Enchantress and can move her last, and she can be very, very impactful. There is a round to be played first, of course, but there's a slight advantage for Pat, I would say, and that would allow him, by scoring the Researcher first round, would allow him to move it further up the field, taking it quite far away from those size 3s, preventing Mike from exploiting the fact that he can throw them and Pat can.
Yeah. I'm going to make a note to ask Mike why he chose Secures. Knowing what was in Pat's roster. All right, I'm not sure what's. Are they having trouble? Okay, hang on. There, it's probably me again. For some reason, when you toggle telecasting, it doesn't work right. Now we go. Let me double check that they're okay. There we go. Okay. I think they should be okay now.
Fantastic.
We'll see.
Was it the overhead?
Yeah. It's some sort of weird bug about the overhead thing.
Mm.
So anyhow, I'd have to manually do it, and then people can't see the. See if I can turn on the. If there's a manual way to turn, because people like to see the little symbols on top of the character so they know what it is.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do this now. Yeah.
Looks okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't have... Oh, does it have the little symbols now? Okay, brilliant. Got it.
It does.
Yeah, cool. Hey, GD Nerds in the house. I had a feeling he'd be there. He probably just has his coffee, lying in bed, just relaxing. It's his MCP on a lazy Sunday morning. Welcome, West Coasters. Hey, we have a line judge tonight, too. Hot damn, I was asking earlier. I didn't know. We have David Mars on the line judge, also known as TAF42.
Fantastic. Who is the table judge tonight?
That I'm going to go check. While they finish setting up their deployment, let me go take a peek in the forum here. Forum. Showing my age. Remind me to talk about age later when we have a moment. Okay. Yeah, I don't have anybody listed who might be the table judge. Let's see. Oh, Jay Deaton, 70. What's his first name? What's his first name, David? Let's get some credit where credit's due. We got David Mars doing the line judging. Thank you very much. Table judge, though, I've recognized his handle, but not what his name is. We'll come back to that. Anybody know where Mike is from in the States? Please let us know. I'm curious always. Meanwhile, let's get down to the deployment. We have Mike deploying at the top of the way top of the screen. He's got Iron Fist at the far flank. In the middle, he's got Sam, followed by Vision right down the center. War Machine, Okoye, and then he's got Luke Cage on the right, which is funny because those are the two Heroes for Hires guys. Pat, meanwhile, has Iron Fist opposite the other Iron Fist. Then he has Enchantress in the middle, Sam in the middle, War Machine in the middle, Hawkeye in the middle, Okoye a little bit off to the left. And that is it for his deployment. So we're looking at 6 wide rosters on either side.
Yep. Neither player wants to go narrower than the opponent because not having priority here is certainly an advantage since
Absolutely.
you want to make the last activation and score the researcher.
Cool.
That's
and
what it's all about.
We're off. I just found out Mike is from the New York, New Jersey area, so somewhere around the city, which is great. My old stomping grounds. I'd love to know which club he plays out of. Maybe he plays out of Somerville, New Jersey, where my old club was. And so he's moving his Luke Cage first out of the gate, and he's going to go ahead and contest that portal. Now, these are foot portals, aren't they? Based on physical strength, yeah?
Yep. No, they're based on energy defense.
Energy.
And if you roll a skull on any of your dice, then the opponent gets to place you within 2 of your current position.
Aha.
So that can certainly throw throw a monkey wrench into the machinery at times.
Yep. Bit of a conversation about this for some reason, but I assume he's going to try to pay to flip next. And, did he not make it? Did he fail? He failed. All right.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. That is not the kind of way to start the Christmas season off, Huggy, you know?
No, sweet Christmas.
Yeah. All right.
Or not so sweet Christmas in this case.
Yeah. He's wasn't able to figure out the trap or the portal. All right, but looks like Iron Fist on Pat's side is now going up. Yep. GD Nerd is predicting 4 hours for this game. I have to say, the Morgan Reed Sam off only lasted 3, which was disappointing because I woke up that morning expecting it only to be half over, and yet it was over. So, GD Nerd, I don't know what you did to those guys. Maybe you could sprinkle some of that fairy dust here. Okay, so Pat...
We have to give Pat some credit for actually being quite swift.
Yeah, he's fast. He's fast. Yeah. I don't know about Mike. Mike's a wild card for us in the finals this year. Not sure. Oh, Pat's got a success, so I think that flips that portal. And no skulls, so he's fine. I don't know.
With
Mike.
A skull there would have allowed Mike to place Iron Fist forward to be within attacking range of Mike's Iron Fist. Possibly, he can reach him anyway with a medium move and then a range 3 fly kick, which is what he looks like he's measuring now.
Sure.
But that container might mess with that plan a little bit.
Interesting.
Which is what Pat was checking earlier. So, great spot by Pat if it turns out he managed to put him just out.
Ooh, that doesn't look good. Nope.
No.
Let's see. I'm sure the judge is in there. Thank goodness we have a table judge today for exactly these sorts of situations, because this is a crucial placement that could be contentious.
I don't. I, I'm not sure if he's in, even if he is allowed to place there.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Looked like there was a small strip of bright ground,
Yeah.
non-shadowed ground. Ooh,
Yeah.
this is close.
That doesn't look attached though to the measuring stick anymore. I don't know, but it's hard to say.
Yeah,
That is out though,
that
gentlemen.
is out.
Yeah, look at that. Wow. Well, now I
Yeah,
know why these
I mean,
matches take 4 hours.
without the container, it would have been fine. It looks
Oh,
like
ooh, are we gonna get take back? No.
that is or he's just.
Don't know. While we're waiting for them to try to figure this out, SB asks, "What do you think of Hawkeye versus Cage? Looks like Hawkeye is a great choice against Division."
He is for sure. I think you could say, well, my shot from the hip would be to say that Hawkeye will provide an advantage early game for Pat, where I think Luke Cage may come in very handy in the later rounds of the game when the brawl in the middle has started.
All right, so we have Mike deciding to move Iron Fist twice to contest the trap. I'm going to presume he's going to try to flip it. Let's take a look. Hasn't paid the power just yet. Still hasn't paid the power, but I hear the dice rolling. Okay.
Yep.
He gets 2 successes, which is what he needs to flip it.
Yep.
Nice one. So he got some luck there. Bad luck on the bottom, good luck up top. I hope he spends that power, or else we'll get the friendly line judge. He has not spent that power.
What we're seeing could be a plan from Mike here to go for the side secures round 1, because if he manages to score, he might consider the middle lost beforehand, because Enchantress is so impactful going last. So it's really tough to score it. Also, Pat would get the chance to play Avengers Assemble last. But if Mike can manage to get both the secures on the sides and just not go for the researcher, then he can get a 3-3 situation.
Mm-hmm.
And also, that would mean that his models are more spread out and not clumped up in the middle for tasty beams round 2.
All right. This game is going a little slower than usual, because usually Pat would have finished his activation already by now. But I'm not going to focus on that. We're not going to focus on that. Especially because it's supper time. Supper time here in Europe. Everybody's enjoying their roast. Maybe start thinking a little bit about some of the, Christmas treats. They already have them out there. Like in Britain, we have all the little mince pies, which are quite tasty in small doses.
Are they, though?
I do like them, actually. Like I said, like one at a time. I can't eat more than one at a time.
Let me tell you a story, Pat, about my honeymoon was actually in London.
Oh, I didn't know that.
6 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And we went to this pub and decided to have lunch there. And I was looking through the menu. I was like, mashed potatoes with gravy and meat pie. This sounds so delicious. And then I got the food and I started eating. And after like 3 or 4 bites, I realized this doesn't taste like anything.
It's comfort food. It's just supposed to fill you up.
There was absolutely no trace of spices whatsoever anywhere.
Oh dear. All right, let me catch everybody real quick. Pat decided to send Okoye down to the bottom trap, and his attempt to flip it failed. And worse is he rolled a skull, and so Mike has now moved him further back.
interesting that we're seeing models spread out all over the place today,
Very much so.
and not the expected brawl in the middle. I'm sure we'll see some other models move there eventually, but so far,
No,
not very expected placement.
no. Maybe they feel like they have enough in the middle that they can spare some guys for the sides, for the flanks.
Let's see, Mike maybe tries to have Okoye give it a go.
This is really bizarre that people are caring about the sides.
Yeah, yeah, because there is a line of thinking that argues that um, on most secures, you are more benefited by going full steam on the researcher rather than caring about the secures.
Mm-hmm.
Because since you score the extra points, as long as from putting the researcher within one of the opponent's evac point, eventually, like somewhere around turn 2 or 3, that means that you only need to score one of the secures each round to actually reach 16 points by the end of round 4, provided that you manage to score the researcher every one of the first 4 rounds.
Okay, got it. Well, so it looks like Mike is trying to decide what to do with his Okoye. He had looked at trying to push her down to the other portal. Now he's taking a look at sending her in the middle, and he's worried about Hawkeye blasting her.
Yep.
Yep, he's decided to go in the middle. Feels more comfortable now. I don't know what was going on before.
That is not running advanced R&D. He could use Avengers Assemble, though, to get 2 shots out of Hawkeye round 1, and that is actually not a very unlikely thing.
Yeah, yeah, because Okoye won't get her martial artist, and having her already kind of on the flip side would be wonderful, because she's such a nuisance on these tight scenarios like this. Right, so he's moved her not quite so aggressively forward, but in contesting of the researcher. And it looks like Pat is getting Sam to go do the dirty to Okoye.
Yep. Excellent point in time to have him go. He has a target. He can place himself in the place he wants to be, and he has a perfect target that impacts the scenario if he manages to get some damage through. But that is certainly looks.
So 3 hits so far, 2 saves,
good block,
and a reroll coming in,
and a crit.
Yeah, so 1 damage goes through.
I think he has the reroll still to go.
Who? The Sam one. No.
Yeah, Lucky. Yeah, there he blocks them all 3.
Okay, right. He was rolling the crit first, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, blocks all 3.
Yeah. So Sam did not push her.
Nope. But he does try to flip the portal, which he does. It's going to have to sit on there. Okay. So, a couple of unlucky rolls for Pat so far.
Yeah, and Mike was unlucky with the
portal.
Turn 1, so
a fair amount of bad luck.
Yeah. Dice are certainly a factor in this game, but most of the time it evens out in the end. At least over the course of an entire TTS season.
Sure, that's comforting to the loser of these matches. Well, my whole season I was rather average.
It's always nice to be able to blame dice and not your own mistakes.
All right, looks like Mike is getting War Machine activated. He hasn't moved him yet, though. was that noise? I heard somebody make a token of some
Perhaps,
sort.
perhaps now you want to say something about age. Oh, they realized that Vision didn't have a face token on him.
Ah, that's what the noise was. Okay. Brilliant.
So, age. What was it about that?
So I was watching a YouTube show, and this guy who started and runs a pretty big miniature kind of news platform, like a whole platform. They do videos and walkthroughs and reviews and anyhow, he was talking to the interviewer and he was saying how, their next phase is they're opening up to other content creators to be on their platform, aside from just them making the videos and stuff, right? Which is cool. And then he says, yeah, and the guy's like, oh, really? And he goes, yeah, that's because, I'm 51 now and people aren't really interested in seeing a 51-year-old guy getting excited about miniatures. And so I want to get some of the other people in there. And I was like, really? That was news to me. Obviously, I'm in the same demographic, but I never ever once in my miniature gaming, in a couple of different communities now, ever felt kind of left out or kind of not part of the conversation, so to speak, whenever we were doing live events or even stuff online, what have you. So I'm not sure where that comment came from, but I thought it was really kind of sad, and I feel really lucky that I haven't felt that kind of attitude from other younger players.
Oh, for sure. My experience is also that this community is, and most communities I've been part of at least, is relatively age blind, so to speak. I suppose that most players are somewhere between 25 and 40. Perhaps maybe because that's the point in time in life when you probably got enough funds to splash the cash on stuff you need. I mean, age is definitely. I can't see any issue with age. I hope to do this when I'm 70.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I used to work in a. Let me catch people up real quick. I'll tell the next anecdote. So it looks like Mike moved his war machine up to the researcher, and then Pat did the same. So they're both contesting the researcher. Mike's got two people contesting to Pat's one so far.
Yep. And now Pat has, with his war machine, blocked a couple of landing spots within one of the researcher, forcing Mike to put either Vision or Sam further up the field, unless Mike manages to push Pat's war machine out of there with his own Sam.
Hey, I like all the support people in the chat are giving by publicly stating their ages and stuff. Thanks, guys. That's really nice of you.
Well, the main problem I'm seeing is that the bending over the table, like
Yeah, I do yoga.
every time you're gonna move on, I was like, oh, please don't crack, please don't crack. Oh, I need to sit down.
I do yoga to avoid that problem. That was a massive roll by Mike. He rolled 5 hits, yeah, from his Captain America sitting on the back evacuation point. And that went into Pat's War Machine, who's taken 3 hit points of damage. And I guess now he's getting pushed.
Oh, shoot. It is 3, because he rolled another hit there. Yeah. That was certainly a spike.
Yeah, that was a big spike. And now the push. So he's going to be off that researcher point. Whew.
Yeah.
So the folks are saying the only thing I have to worry about as we get older, when it comes to miniature gaming, is crappy dice rolls. I think the only people who don't have crappy dice rolls are tiny little kids. When they're hot little hands.
Yeah.
When they roll those dice, I don't know if the heat from their hands or the sweat, I don't know what, but they always roll crazy well. And then they're like,
that's the way it is.
They're like, miniature gaming's for me. And then they grow up and enjoy the rest of us schlubs. I think it's just the dice gods.
To be fair, it goes. I would love to see more younger people playing this game, and one of my initial thoughts when I saw the game launch was actually that this is for once a miniatures game that can actually speak to kids like in their
Yeah,
15,
sure.
14, 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
Since Marvel is very popular in the younger ages and as well as the older ones, of course. And you don't need that many models. You don't need to buy that much products to be able to play. So I actually played a tournament a month, 2 months back, and played against a 15-year-old guy in the final,
Oh, wow.
and he was very, very skilled,
Awesome.
I'd say.
Okay, I think what Sam did is he went ahead and flipped the portal. It's not showing right now. I think, yeah, they're having a little trouble putting it on there. So he's successfully flipped that back portal, and
Got placed.
yeah, he doesn't have a tick on him though. Why is he? Oh, because he rolled a skull. Got it. Right. Okay. Interesting. So Pat's brought him forward. He's elected to move him forward as a result of that skull.
Yep.
And I'm hoping Lucky goes and puts the tick on Captain America to avoid any confusion. But maybe he's not done.
It's a quite interesting situation here because Mike currently has 2 models on the researcher and Pat has none. Both have Avengers Assemble playable. Pat has the opportunity to play his card after Mike, but question is when the optimal time of playing it will be, and question is where Hawkeye needs to go, because I do believe that Hawkeye would very much like to play it now and to get both shots and then
Yeah.
do a hook arrow onto the point. But it looks as though Pat has decided against that, probably because he realized that he doesn't want to burn his Avengers Assemble card first.
Yeah. Agreed.
At least not before his last turn, if it could net him the score of the researcher round 1.
So this puts Hawkeye, one character of Pat's against 2 of Matt's. Right? Just 2. Okay.
Yep. Cleverly placing Hawkeye in a manner so that it becomes very difficult for Mike to beam him with vision without also hitting one of his own.
Yeah, cool. Interesting.
There's
Yeah.
probably an angle somewhere, but
I was going to tell you about when I was in high school. One of my volunteer jobs was in a nursing home, essentially, or elder care home. And, I was young in my teens, and so that was an entirely older generation. Like, obviously they're old. I'm saying far different generation than how we grew up. And it was pretty sad. I had, they just didn't have any, hobbies or anything. They sat around watching TV and, maybe doing like a little clapathon kind of a thing when some social worker would come in and stuff. And it was a decent place. It wasn't like, I don't think it was like due to funding problems or things like that. It's just, I don't think they had that interest. Whereas I'm hoping between all of our hobbies, man, I'm lucky that the things that, because they were more active people, right? That their hobbies and things, I'm certain, were probably things with their hands or doing stuff actively, which it becomes harder and harder as you get that old. But
by the time I reach that age, I for sure hope that there will be niche old folks' homes for nerds.
yeah, wouldn't that be amazing?
There are video games and
Yeah.
board games, and that would be like heaven.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Think like a 24-hour gaming room. All right. Looks like we have Vision getting ready to move. Possibly going forward. Oh, there's Llama playing Tabletop Simulator. Go figure. So someone said, "Welcome to the Silver Fox Retirement Home and Miniature Gaming Club."
I
Matt's.
imagine they like because the people working there would probably be nerds too, and then the old folks would sit there like, in my days, GW was doing this, and
Yeah.
they just
You'd have cliques formed by which edition of GW you started with. All right, Vision's moved on top of that cargo container, which means he's past the evacuation point, which is fine because Matt's already flipped it. Question is what's Vision going to do now? Looks like a beam, but it would be catching quite a few other dudes.
Yeah. He could, of course, just move him again to get more bodies on top of the researcher. Enchantress will be able to go. She will likely find an angle to beam 2 people, and then Siren's Call 2 people off. Are we perhaps seeing an Avengers Assemble here from Mike?
You were saying who susses out the other players of interest assemble first is likely has the advantage. So what is this? He's worried about Cap blowing him off the researcher if he goes there.
No, I think he wants to find an angle to beam both War Machine or Hawkeye and Cap.
Okay, got it. Oh, I see, because it's range 4.
That way he generates more power, so he could throw Hawkeye off.
Got it.
This is actually very, very interesting. Because Vision's throw is he throws medium, but I don't know if the angles of the placement of terrain makes it so that he can throw Hawkeye far away enough for him to be unable to Avengers Assemble back on the point.
Yeah, good point. He's measuring all kinds of different Avengers Assembles moves and here. While he's doing this, I need a desperate need of a glass of water. I will be back momentarily.
Water, huh? So tonight I've been taking a dive into the smoky department with a Lafroig quarter cask. The Sam on Sam mirror needs for a demands some of the stronger stuff.
Okay, I'm back. Whew. Anything happen?
Not really. Mike is still contemplating whether to Avengers Assemble or not.
Oh, well, while you have some time, then.
He has paid. He has flipped the card, so it seems that he's going for it, and he's paid the power on Vision, and he's paid the power on War Machine.
Beer Thralls knows me too well. It's water today. That's good. Full glass of vodka. I don't think it's a full glass. I just diluted it a little bit. All right, so we've had War Machine, Mike's War Machine move further to the south, but still within 1 of the researcher. Now his Captain America is going to be moving forward. Also probably still contesting that researcher, but on a different angle. So it seems like he might be going for a very aggressive play here.
Yeah. Scoring the researcher round 1 can be quite impactful because the first move, it's like, it's like scoring the first goal in a game of soccer or football. Then one team immediately becomes the one who defends the lead, and the other one, the one who needs to chase it. and even if you manage to score it back, you're still just on equal footing. So, who scores it the first round is indeed very impactful. That doesn't look like a legal placement of Sam there.
Shadow Marvel. I know that sounds like I was making a bad joke about actual hurricanes, but they have a cocktail called a hurricane, and it's delicious, and it's quite characteristic of the city. Yep, Sazeracs are another one. Sazerac cocktail, another delicious one. Rye whiskey. Yeah, Sazerac is definitely more of a bitter drink, more potent drink, and Hurricane is more of a fruity drink. But it's delicious because it's predominated by passion fruit, which is not something you get in cocktails very often. Oh, Shadow Marvel is aware. Aha! Are you from the Bayou? Shadow Marvel, I don't want to be lecturing to you then. Be mansplaining how it is in New Orleans. I know very little, but I know about hurricanes.
That's a great song. Born on the Bayou.
Yeah. Another old timey song. We're not doing any favors getting the views up. I don't have enough followers, Hugo. I'm not sure what the problem is.
Didn't you, you haven't paid the bots?
Paid the bots. I know.
You didn't pay attention to. There are guys all the time coming in and asking you if you want to be famous. But you're not paying attention to them.
I have to accept them somehow. I mean, I've got so few followers. I tell you, I was flipping through Twitch waiting for another stream to start, and this streamer was playing Grand Theft Auto, literally not talking, and just moving stuff around, like not even like scoring points or anything, just kind of like walking around and like interacting with stuff. She had 227,000 followers.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was confused. Yeah, that's probably what it was. I think it was role playing because they weren't doing anything except they were talking to each other. That's what it was. GTA role playing. But nonetheless, I mean, I've seen role playing. This was dull. But you know, damn. Vision was able to ping Pat's War Machine with another hit point of damage, which is not good.
If he would have gotten 2 damage in there, that would have been
backbreaking. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but now here comes a flying Hawkeye. Oh man.
Is he throwing him into the container? I thought he would throw him into War Machine.
Question is that if War Machine goes down, then there's not that many models for Pat to use Avengers Assemble on, unless he wants to pop his field dressing this early in the game, which is.
Oh, Huggy, your camera keeps breaking. I have to fix it. Never mind. I got it now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why it does that.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Dodged it.
Wow. Holy mackerel.
That was big.
Well, apparently I'm number 1 in the TTS category. That's awesome. I'll take that. Thanks, GD Nerd. No, Rylan, believe it or not, she had this habit of sitting on her chair with one leg up, kind of like her knee cradled to her chest, which I thought was like uncomfortable. But otherwise, yeah, nothing like that would suggest why she has, other than her content, why she might have 225,000 followers. All right.
I'm impressed that there are more than 30 people in here watching this game. It's amazing.
I know. And we got dressed up.
Yeah. For you guys.
Yeah. Send me more followers. Okay. Well, Pat's certainly dodged, so to speak, a big problem. Oop. And so he's just still doing Avengers Assemble, and it's Iron Fist now moving out of the flank into the action, looking to be within
Yeah.
3 of a flying kick of somebody, I guess, or maybe bitter rivals.
It's probably for putting Heroes for Hire online.
Yeah, that's it. Smart.
Um, he does not, however, have enough power to trigger it now, so he can't mess with Enchantress's. Pat's Enchantress's likely double beam onto Vision and Sam. So my guess here is that we'll see. Question is though, if Pat looks quite hard for Pat to score. He needs to be. He could be lucky with his saps. I mean, Enchantress can move up, double beam, or beam 2 models. Hopefully sap 2 power. Hopefully for Pat, and then be able to Siren's Call 3 models off. He's guaranteed to be able to bow 2 models off. But that means Mike still has would still have 2 models left because he has 4 models on the research currently, which is a lot. So even if Pat uses Avengers Assemble in that situation, then he will only get 2 models on there, making it a 2-2.
So GD Nerd says that I shouldn't be complaining about my views since we're watching a little game that's not moving very many pieces compared to GTA RP. But I have to say, she didn't say very much. That was the thing that was driving me crazy. I'm like standing. Well, I gave her a good 5 minutes, and nothing was really happening. She looked bored, basically, to me. But okay, I'm only picking on one. There's been other ones that I've come across where the same thing happens, where I've seen they played. What game was it? It was another. It was like an air flight sim, and she was just kind of you were literally in an airplane.
This is a gamble from Pat. He's
Decided to move up Enchantress, eh?
Yeah, but he's gonna beam across his own, as it looks, both Hawkeye and War Machine.
Ouch.
And that means that Hawkeye, War Machine, both of them are gonna take 1 automatic damage, which is gonna daze War Machine. So I don't know if what is the plan here.
He's doing Avengers Assemble.
He can do Avengers Assemble before the beam. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad these 2 cards are coming out of the way sooner than later, so that we can maybe not have to compare ourselves to other streams, which are just as dull as this one. Hopefully, this will go a little faster once this Avengers Assemble. It's always a crucial moment,
Yep.
Sam. Okay. Okay, it looks like Iron Fist is being moved a bit closer, but still contesting that point. I'm sure Pat wants to get that flipped next turn.
Yep, for sure. So, as far as I can see, there are 2 secures in favor of Mike here, and 1 for Pat. And then now Pat is aiming for 1 sap to be able to bow, or Siren's Call, 3 models off of the researcher, so that he scores it with his War Machine and Hawk. Yeah, there's a lot of talk currently about the SAM games taking a very long time, and I would agree that there is a certain risk that that will happen, since they contain more decision points, given the leadership. That means that you have to make decisions during your opponent's turns as well as your own. But to be fair, when it comes to the cut games of previous TTS seasons, we have seen a fair share of quite long games.
Right. So Pat's gotten his Adventures Assemble out of the way. He's now moved with Siren's Call. Sam.
And very cleverly, he Sirens called Sam into the beam, so now he will guarantee the extra 4 power that he needs to get Molotov. So Pat is gonna secure the Researcher round 1 for sure.
Amazing. At the cost of War Machine. Oh, sorry, War Machine.
War Machine got out of the way thanks to Avengers Assemble.
Is it wide enough? I didn't realize it was wide enough. Okay.
It might be. He might go down early next round, since Mike will still have priority.
So that's 2 hit points into Mike's Sam.
Yep.
And who's next?
Pat accidentally spikes, for instance, Okoye to death here. That could be very, very impactful.
Well, so far no. Okoye doing Okoye things again. And now he's attacking Vision.
Yeah. It's a good roll with Sap.
Yeah, Saps.
Not bad.
Wow. Okay.
That is actually 4 damage into Vision.
Oof. That was only the first attack too, so.
Yeah.
Okay, now into Okoye. 2 hits with a crit, and the crit rolls into a hit. So 3 hits, 1 save with the reroll, which does not help. Looks like a Koi, or she get? Oh, that was the crit before. All right, 2 saves. I keep forgetting about that. 2 saves, so she should take 1 hit. If I'm right. Yep. There we are. Yep. Yep. Looks like another
call on 3 models. So they will be sent into the realm of nowhere.
Yeah. So this is what it is when it comes down to, as you were saying before, the last player advantage here.
Yeah, and this is something that has been removed in the update. But which hasn't taken effect in the TTS league since they're using the rules that were in effect when the league started, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to do, at least in my point of view. But in the new set of rules, this would not have been a possible outcome of Pat's last activation.
This is one of the big things that we're trying to get rid of. Or where the developers are trying to get rid of.
Yeah. It's one of those things that they've learned along the way.
Yeah. Just want to let's message good old Taff to make sure that Vision gets a tick mark. And the last move of War Machine. God, Enchantress, what a bitch. So, there we go. That is, I believe that's the end of his activation. Let's see if he's got anything else left to do, but he has no power, no actions left.
And nothing to throw.
And who owns the portal? So, Mike owns 2. 1 is unowned, and 1 is owned by Pat. Am I right?
Yeah. So 3-2 to Pat. It should be after this round. Yeah. But more importantly, he gets to move the Researcher further up the field, closer to Mike's evac point.
Sure.
And now we will see a very interesting round 2, where certain dice rolls can be very decisive.
That's 3-2, and as Charles Omnis Protocol points out, had Luke Cage not failed that flip, this game would have been tied instead.
Yep. So it was definitely a great plan from Mike's side, going for the sides to even out, losing the researcher round one, which was quite likely, even though he did manage to force Pat to jump through some hoops to pull it off. But unfortunately, he failed at 85% rolls.
Don't rub it in, Huggy. Yeah, I suspected that Pat was going to keep the researcher away. I think he wants to just score it. He just wants to score.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Pat moving the researcher closer to his own side.
Yeah. But you see, it's away from all of Matt's characters aside from
Yes,
Iron Fist. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe he has calculated that. Yeah, he's going for the long game probably.
Oh, for sure.
Because you need 16 points, so 3 points a turn for 4 rounds means you're at 12. So you'll need to either score a portal a couple of times, or a second portal a couple of times, or get the researcher within one of the opponent's evac point twice. And now it will not be possible to get 2 points out of the researcher being close to the opponent's evac point before round 4. So unless Pat goes for one of the side portals, he will only be able to get 14 points by the end of round 4, making it quite likely for the game to go for 5 rounds. And even if the score would turn around and we're lucky to score the researcher a couple of times, then it would still probably need 5 rounds due to the fact that he has only scored 2 rounds. So yeah, this has basically been a 45-minute round 1.
Yeah, people asking how long that was. That round 1 was, yeah, I would say at least 45 minutes, if not 50.
Agreed, Hyper Viper. Pat probably made the assumption that there will be a brawl here. Dice will make this game go back and forth, and pushing hard for the aggressive researcher play immediately might not be the best course of action necessarily.
All right, so we have
Playing the long game.
Mike pushing his vision up towards that researcher. Nowhere near it, though, in terms of contesting it. But nonetheless, I think he's just trying to line up a beam here. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's 4 characters. Maybe 5.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Let's see. That looks good, though. Yeah.
He'll have at least only 4, as it looks. That's
his own Sam. Yeah, so he's got all the ones that he could get. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, this is... but then remember, even if this is...
he's just paid 2.
Pat is also playing Sam, so he's not gonna...
he's... Sorry, Huggy. He's put Bitter Rivals up. I'm not sure on whom, though. They haven't yet put the...
Hawkeye.
It's not a Hawkeye. Okay. That makes sense, because Hawkeye is easy enough to take out with his crappy stats.
At least not with an energy attack. And it's quite significant that he's already... Oof, that is a dead Hawkeye. A dazed Hawkeye.
Woohoo! That was against Vision, Enchantress rather. So she's good.
Okay, so starting from behind.
Oof.
Oh my God.
Hubba hubba. Someone's gonna get thrown into Enchantress.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Now it's Sam next, getting a hit. Bitter rivals, yes, of course, no problem. Um, 3 hits, 4 hits. Wow, he's rolling quite well. Pat
Yep.
saved 2, so 2 go through.
Maximum blocks given bitter rivals.
And I guess now is time for Hawkeye to soak up some damage.
Yep. I believe the optimal outcome
Whew, another good roll. 4 hits.
takes him down. I was just about to say that I thought the optimal outcome for Mike here would be to do exactly 2 damage to Hawkeye so that he was alive on 1, so that he could then throw him into Enchantress. But I suppose he's quite likely to do the last point of damage to War Machine here, which would have triggered the Sam leadership, allowing Enchantress to get out of there.
Yeah. So, in fact, that's happened now, hasn't it? With Hawkeye dazing.
Yes. So
Pat
that will now have to
measuring
consider-
2. Is he measuring that at, is that Vision's throwing range?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Huggy, we said before to for all those who celebrate, this is the first day of Advent, first Sunday of Advent. I'm wondering if your kids got anything, like any kind of candies or little treat.
Oh yeah. My son just got a Harry Potter calendar.
Oof, nice one. Was he happy with that?
He was very happy.
Nice one. But I thought you had 2 kids.
I have 1 kid.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I bought some chocolates for myself, which I think I'm going to have very shortly.
Yeah.
Because, just a little stocking stuffer.
Yeah. I also got some chocolate.
Amazing.
But a little.
Swedish chocolate is excellent.
You think?
I think so. I've had
Oh my.
some. Yeah, you don't think so? I thought Swedes were proud of their chocolate.
It's all like butter and sugar. The Swedes have nothing on like the Swiss and the Belgians
Yeah.
when
Okay.
it comes to chocolate.
Okay. Is it Norway that has the tax on sugar so that you can't have chocolates?
Both Norway and Denmark.
And Denmark. Huh.
There's actually a lot of illegal candy smuggling due to that. Apparently, there's more money in smuggling candy between Denmark and Sweden than there is in smuggling drugs.
Well, it's kind of a drug. All right, there's War Machine out of the picture. I guess he got thrown.
Oh, really, CJ QTR? What are your favorites?
Oh, you got a fan who can who's had Swedish chocolate. Excellent.
Yeah, CJWQTR just wrote in the chat that he has some friends in Sweden who regularly sends him some boxes of goodies.
Iris Hollyhock says they have good gin. Right, I don't know. Gin, I'm sure they have, but aquavit is where it's at in Sweden or Scandinavia in general.
Yeah, Polly is. I agree. Polly is really good. It's. I don't know the words. It contains the same ingredient from that you make punch.
Oh, yeah?
Arak, I think.
Okay.
Arak.
Huh.
So it's like chocolate with a taste of punch. Quite reminiscent of French nougat.
Okay. With the second dazing, Pat's moved Enchantress out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah, using Sam's ability. So he's lost Hawkeye and War Machine off of Vision's nasty activation.
Yeah. Pat for sure needs to get some dazes happening, unless he wants to um, get be stripped of not having priority.
People are suggesting all you got is incoming, but I wouldn't. Well, I mean, he could daze a few more characters, I suppose.
Yeah.
But you know,
Um,
they'd be dazed, not out of the not knocked out. So
yeah, and the field dressing is
still in play.
still a thing. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
I
if
suppose
somebody
he
was able
could.
to wake up him, Pat's War Machine.
I mean, he could for sure make a second move and get a throw into Enchantress,
Yeah,
and then a big attack probably into. Um, looks like he paid the power, so this could be
yeah. He's
crippling.
flipped it. He's flipped it. He's flipped the all you got card. This is definitely
Yeah.
happening. So second
If he manages
activation.
to daze both Pat's Sam and Enchantress here, then that would be
Yeah,
crippling
yeah.
for sure. That means that Pat only has Iron Fist to activate, and he does not have enough power to field dress
Uh,
anything.
uh-huh.
Pat does have an Okoye as well, though.
Yeah, at the bottom of the
At
screen,
bottom.
currently off screen. Yep.
Yeah, but she will also struggle to be in this round.
Hmm.
But then again, this will swing priority over to Pat, and Pat has the same suite of cards. So even though this looks is developing into an excellent round for Mike,
Yeah.
it's quite possible to see. It's quite possible that we will see a equally big turn from Pat next round.
Yeah. Well, you like to say that turn three is where like the real swings happen.
Yeah, not always, but a lot of the time. Round three or round four, given how intense the scoring has been. But I think that the average game lasts 4 rounds, where you score, depending on the crisis, of course. But if you score 4 points a turn, then 4 points a round, then that means you need 4 rounds to go to 16. Um, at this crisis combination, there is sort of only 6 points available, so a 3-3 is quite common, I suppose, or a 3-2 that we've seen.
So that's the size three cargo. That's really
Yep.
good to get rid of that cargo container. As we were saying, it's perfect for Sam. And sure enough, he's throwing it on Enchantress, who doesn't dodge it and is also dazed. And he's gotten rid of that very helpful cover piece that Pat was using.
I think that the player who manages to KO the first model will give us a good indication of how things are going.
Oh, can they not touch the model? Is it stuck? Because they turned off stream review for some reason. There we go.
Right? Maybe it's not accepting that the cargo isn't there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was all on top of the cargo container. And Sam's also hovering. Oh, there it goes.
There he goes.
Hopefully that covers it. No.
Fantastic.
Thanks, guys.
And it appears that Chantress did not dodge sufficiently enough.
No. She did. She got dazed. Yeah.
Rather expected.
Yeah. So who do you go after next then, if you're Vision?
Sam for sure. If I don't know, I don't remember the cost of Synthesoid Avenger, the spender on Vision. But Pat now triggers his leadership,
right.
Possibly, and he's measuring 3 from Vision. If I remember correctly, that is the range of Synthesoid Avenger. So he's looking to see if he can get outside of 3, but I don't think that will be. It doesn't look possible.
It costs 4, so it is online.
Yep. So if he one-shots Sam, that is definitely huge. Ooh, is that?
Yeah, couldn't tell.
It looked like he did get outside 3.
Yeah, I think so too. If I had to guess, but it was fast. It was fast. And he's outside of 3 of Hawkeye now too, so no bitter rivals.
So regular beam, I suppose. Now there's question is now if Pat pays the power for vibranium shielding here, because he really wants to get a field dressing off at some point, and if he spends all his power on shielding himself, then not as likely to.
Yeah, doesn't look like he paid it. Good, decent save. Two saves. No crits. Attack roll.
Ooh, 2 crits.
Oh, for goodness. Mike's dice have been...
He's not gonna die.
Oof!
But he's gonna take 2 damage and lose 1 power.
Oof! He didn't want to see any of that.
Did not. He definitely did not.
On the bright side, he's still alive, but he's shy 1 power now.
Yep.
For field dressing.
And Pat has lost 3 characters, whereas Mike has only lost 1, and that was due to his own All You Got. So currently, things are looking great for Mike, I'd say.
Yeah, very good. What do you think happened? I mean, certainly some dice went the right way, but
I think some dice went the right way, but mainly Pat was forced to jump through some hoops round 1 to secure the researcher.
Yeah.
Which maybe made it so that he was unable to pay enough attention to various beaming angles, and then Mike immediately spotted the mega beam.
Okay.
That managed to get him 2 characters dazed, as well as a spike on Enchantress to get him that really big activation.
Yeah. Guys, we've been watching a lot of Pat's games, though, and usually Pat does not give this many opportunities to the opponent, as we saw this particular match. That's why I was asking Huggy about this. I mean, you may have seen it in other games, but Pat never lets this happen, honestly. But I think, Huggy, I think you're right, because of some of the side activities going on. He got out of position.
I do think that Mike's very aggressive moves round 1 has put Pat on the spot, forcing him to some placements that he may have otherwise not made. I am unable to suggest a better course of action than Pat choose, but Mike was definitely very good at exploiting the placement of Pat's models to get that uh, four-man being with vision to generate tons of power and have his very impactful all you've got turn.
Yep.
And he also got he also had the quite lucky spike onto War Machine round one.
Yep.
That is also a thing because I'm not so sure War Machine would have gone down now otherwise if he wouldn't have already taken 3 damage round one, 4 even. So things like that impact the game, and a skilled player needs to be able to adapt to situations that arise, and that is what being a skilled player of MCP is all about.
Yeah.
So will be very interesting to see how Pat manages to adapt to this certainly very tricky situation
Yeah.
that he's ended up in.
Looks like he wants to put Captain America up on the researcher, but I don't understand the logic here because, okay, it'll get cover behind or lack of line of sight even behind that hall there, but there's so many other characters. And, Matt has to, even if he doesn't go after Pat's Captain America, he could just put a lot of people around that researcher and win it.
Yep.
I think Omnis is right. If it all depends now, this game will depend on Mike setting up his placements this turn so that he minimizes the comeback that Pat's going to have next turn.
Yeah, and if Pat can manage to either prevent the field dressing that is likely to be incoming on Vision from Okoye, I would assume, and perhaps even daze a character with his remaining ones. Not an easy task for sure, but is this an attack, a Sam attack into Okoye we're seeing?
I thought it was into the other Sam.
Maybe it was into the other Sam.
Only done one hit. Well, it must be Okoye because there's the reroll and another save. That was okay, bodyguard. Thank you, Pinkster. There's a Bugs Bunny cartoon where he kept having to watch his Elmer Fudd baby, Finster baby. He kept saying. Do you know that one? Finster baby. He kept saying.
Baby.
Yeah, and it was like this looked like a little old man, but like dressed in baby clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think at one point he started slapping him on the butt, like punishing him, which I don't know if that's gonna be allowed to be shown anymore these days.
Probably not.
I'm not sure what's going on with the game right now, Roster Doctor.
Like that is considering moving Sam to be on the researcher within one, and then being also within 2 of both War Machine and Hawkeye, preparing for a field dressing.
Yeah.
But Mike would get the chance to use his Sam to push Pat's Sam off or outside of 2 of his friends, which is certainly now dictating where Pat can place.
Yeah. But I think you're right. Trying to set up a field dressing.
Hard to tell from this angle, but if Pat places Sam there, it's also possible that he will be inside within 3 of his Iron Fist, who's currently at the top secure portal, making Heroes for Hire a possibility when Mike decides to go for Sam. Yeah, let's remember that Bid Rivals is still on Hawkeye, so it's currently very unattractive to be
Be
close to the
anywhere
wizard.
near there. So, yep, indeed, Pat's put his sand down below in field dressing range of Enchantress,
Yep,
which would be amazing if she was to wake up in this turn. She could do a lot.
for sure.
She's sitting on 8 power. Right,
Yeah.
back to Mike's turn.
So Mike can now, um, he has a decent chance to push Sam off of, uh, away from two.
Do you need to damage for the push?
Yes,
Got it.
and that would be not so good for Pat. Though I can hardly see what else Pat could have done about
Yeah.
that thing in particular. So the game is Mike has managed to get the game up to speed, and it's going fast downhill for Pat. So he has to find a way to stop this movement and turn it around to his advantage, which he will get a chance to do in round 3. But if he has a lot of characters on their injured side by then, and Mike has most of his characters on their healthy side, then he's only going to get dazes. And then when Mike explodes back in round 4, then there's going to be KOs on Pat's side.
All right.
And as I said earlier, I think the player that first starts KOing the opponent's characters does have a firm grip.
So we saw Mike's Sam completely miss on that attack against Pat Sam, and so we're seeing the second attack going in now.
And once again, Pat cannot use his vibranium shield.
Oof, that's it.
And that dazes him.
Dazes him. Yikes. Wow. Great turn for Mike so far.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is not good for Pat.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
Is Pat pass at this point?
He kind of has to, I would say. And for Mike, it's just about keeping the pain train rolling as much as possible.
Looks like Pat's trying to see if he can climb Iron Fist over the hauler.
He is going to lose priority at this point, so just trying to daze as many characters as possible, not caring about what it does to the priority dynamic, and then positioning to mitigate the impact of Pat's retaliation, and setting up for a vengeance on round 4 or late round 3.
All right. Oh, you know what that was? Pat was measuring was Sam affiliation movement for Iron Fist.
Oh yeah,
that's what it was. But let's see. Did he moved Okoye instead? I think. Yeah, he's moved Okoye onto that portal at the bottom, and left Iron Fist alone. All right. Down at the bottom of the screen now.
We're seeing Pat measuring.
Oh, no, he's going to go up here now. So Iron Fist is going.
Yep.
Iron Fist is attacking the other Iron Fist. And staying next to that portal. He wants those points. Is he within 2 for cover purposes? It looks like he's out.
Yep. So
Not good for Pat.
no, Iron Fist on Iron Fist is usually a pillow fight, but I think what he's after here is the free power.
Mm-hmm. So Pat's done no damage whatsoever, rolling a lovely 3 skulls.
He's looking at generating 1 power from the fly kick into Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna fly kick Sam.
Sure enough.
To generate another power, getting him to 4 power and placing within 2 of his 2 buddies.
Yeah.
Who are currently dazed.
Clever.
Yeah, certainly. And Mike will for sure get the chance to respond to this by activating one of his other characters and taking down Iron Fist or moving him out of the way before Pat gets to put his plan to work for the field dressing.
Mike's put a measurement tool down for some reason. Yep, there's the attack. Get some dice rolling. More measuring. Okay, now I hear the dice rolling. Not good. Pat's got another crummy roll. Just one hit, 2 hits.
So 1 damage and 1 power, which is all that matters.
Yeah.
Although a spike to daze Sam there would for sure be nice. Oh, it looks like he's placing himself closer to Enchantress.
Yeah.
Rather than being on. Yeah. And her activations are, of course, all the more juicy than both Hawkeye and War Machine. War Machine can have big activations too, for sure, when all you've got and beams a lot of people. But Enchantress does that all better.
All right. Looks like Mike's going straight in with his War Machine. And wants to take out Iron Fist.
Yep.
Now he's within 3. So he does
Iron
get
Fist
his...
Does. Yep.
Yep.
Does get his blanks, so I would consider it rather optimistic. But dice are dice.
Yeah, and so far this game, they've gone Mike's way, so... Let's see if the attack is happening. Mike's still considering his options.
The weak spot of Mike here is the fact that Vision is currently dazed. So he's going to want to field dress him at some point. As late as possible, so that Pat has as few possibilities as possible to daze him again after he rises. But if he allows Pat to field dress Enchantress here, then she can easily Siren's Call Sam away from Vision to nullify the possibility of a field dressing taking place, and then that would allow Pat to use his retaliation round with priority next round to KO Vision, which would be a huge step forward for his game plan.
Mike's really thinking this through.
Yeah.
He's gone from looking at War Machine doing stuff to Luke Cage doing stuff, and now Okoye.
He looks rather. His options for stopping the key field dressing seems rather thin. He basically needs to get lucky with 2 beams from War Machine, or do something completely different.
He's not trusting his dice.
Most competitive players don't like relying on dice unless they're really, really heavily favored. Which sort of surprises me why certain affiliations that don't use dice that much aren't more popular than they are.
Yeah, totally.
Mainly thinking of Criminal Syndicate.
I think they're going to be huge with the 1.5 edition.
Yeah.
I said it
I think
first.
so too.
I said it first. That's worth some subscribe buttons. Hit that subscribe button for that kind of wisdom on a regular basis from me and Huggy. Subscribe, like, tell your
MCP
friends.
Think Tank.
Yeah. See? Everyone loves it. Criminal Syndicate is insane. Well, if you think he's insane, subscribe to this channel and you'll see some... That's my Kingpin is my little avatar person. So, come on.
Norbert, currently, you are Kingpin.
That's
Look
it.
at your suit. Look at your hair. Look at...
Be careful. Somebody doesn't subscribe, I'm gonna put you into a car door and bash your head in. Boom, 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 boom.
Are you the ill intent?
I'm trying to improve this city, Huggy. And it's just small-minded people getting in my way. Look at that. Roster Doctor.
I'm shaking.
Yeah, sending me all the love. Not you. You're part of the family. I'm talking about all those GTA or role players out there. They gotta look out. Okay, so Okoye's moved up to the researcher and is squatting right on top of that poor scientist. Jeez.
Yep.
She's like, stay down.
Trying to get herself some of that sweet power by taking a shot into Iron Fist, who is within Bid Rival's range, to be fair.
Yeah. All right. So two
No
hits.
block. Oh my god. No.
Yes.
3 damage looks... No, that's one block.
One block because of the blanks. Yep.
It would have been hilarious if Okoye would have been true to herself and just spiked him to death there.
Yeah. All right. Pat's measuring 3-inch beams. He's like, who the hell can I beam? Hyper Viper is suggesting that I should play GTA role-playing as the Kingpin. I think he's got something there, actually. Because then I don't have to say anything. I could just move around my stuff like a zombie and get 225,000 subscribers. I mean, come on.
But I mean, you are still playing Sin 7, right?
Yeah, I want to tweak it a bit to take into account some of these character changes that are happening. Yep.
But I mean, that is a roster that can very easily cross over with a Criminal Syndicate.
Ah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Fair enough.
Be true to your avatar.
Pat's, there it is. Oop, there, field dressing. Woohoo! All right. Now, we've seen these sorts of things go horribly wrong, haven't we? Where you do the all you got Enchantress play and then she flubs all 4 attacks. And he wants to... Okay, so he's Siren's called Mike Sam Wilson over.
Yeah. I do not see if he got him as Mike's Sam outside of 2 from Vision. Which I would consider the most important thing here.
Vision can bodyguard.
Ooh.
You know the Siren's call? Yeah.
Setting up a 3-man beam.
Why are you worried about 2 within Vision?
Because of the field dressing. Pat wants to prevent the field dressing on Vision.
Oh, right.
So that he can KO him next round.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Okay, looks like the first attacker going into Mike's Captain America. Mike is checking 1. Oh, Heroes for Hire.
Heroes for Hire, yeah.
Sure enough.
And that will actually kill Enchantress.
Oh God. Ah, I'm surprised Pat didn't
Yeah.
account for this. It's very surprising. Only 2 hits as well.
That actually looks like it's because Pat did not have to Siren's Call Sam into Heroes for Hire range there.
Yeah.
So it looks like he was actually caught off guard by this, and it is huge. And now,
Oh, he's
if
going to use his
Iron,
Iron Fist.
and if he's a bit unlucky with his dodge on Iron Fist here, then he can go down as well.
Yep.
It looks like he does. Oh
wow.
my God, Pat!
Wow, that's a rare mistake.
The man with a plan, but the plan failed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a rare fatal error. I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised, and it's. I think that's the game. He's burned up one of his best cards for nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, Jacob Xavier Protocols is suggesting that it isn't Pat playing.
We have to. I mean, we're being surprised about mistakes here, but I mean, what a great spot from Mike. He has done all the right things.
Yeah.
In this game so far.
Very much so. Everything's been perfectly executed.
Yeah.
Even the loss of that portal flip at the bottom wasn't that big a deal in the long run. So it looks like Mike's just going to go ahead and put War Machine on the point. And try to flip it now. Or maybe also attack Okoye. Both. Why not both? That's 2 saves so far with a crit. 3 saves. Which nullifies all the hits.
Yep.
And a bleed goes on her.
Which is certainly annoying.
Yeah. And so you're gonna flip it.
Looks like Mike has removed a significant amount of power from his Sam. I would assume that he did a field dressing on Vision.
Uh-huh. Not
But
sure.
Vision is still dazed. Maybe I'm wrong, but I
No,
think
he well, he might have, but he flipped. He went ahead and flipped to try to flip the portal. I think he succeeded, but he's also rolled a skull, so Pat's moving him off the point, which means Okoye can try to get it back.
yes.
Okay, that leaves Luke Cage and Iron Fist still to go.
That's true, Pink Star. Sam did spend 2 for Heroes for Hire. That is something I did not consider.
Mike's electing to move his Iron Fist down into the middle of the board. So as we were saying before, this is all about setting things up to minimize problems round 3.
Yep.
Because I can't imagine Okoye is going to do anything but flip that trap and maybe throw a spear at somebody. She can't even do that. She don't have power.
Pat's Okoye can still get lucky and explode 2 damage into Sam.
Sure.
Get him dazed. Unless but Mike doesn't have 2 power on Luke Cage. Otherwise, he would have been able to reverse bodyguard those attacks.
So he's changed his mind and he's moving Luke Cage down to that portal to contest with Okoye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke Cage is going to attack Okoye first.
Yeah.
Two hits. Okoye save both.
If Cage would have generated 1 power there, he could have stopped any attacks from Okoye into Sam.
Nice one. Exactly, because the reverse bodyguard, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
The too dangerous to ignore, I think is reverse body. I like reverse bodyguard.
Very functional description, sadly. Not a nice, fluffy one. Okay, so this is Koye throwing her spear up Sam's backside. 2 hits. Sam has rolled.
Only 1 block from cover, so
1 through?
or
is he
did
taking
they
both?
forget about cover there, or?
Yeah, maybe they thought it wasn't a line, but it seems like there should be a line. Yeah, I think Pat's showing him a line. We'll see. No, I guess they're letting it go through for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Haha, Taunt. Taunt is the name for reverse bodyguard. I haven't heard that since my WoW days. Wow.
That's certainly fewer syllables.
All right, so Mike's moved his war machine back up on the point as a result of his Captain America getting dazed. And Okoye is going to try to flip the thing.
And he's going to need 3 whole hits.
No, not even close.
No way, Jose. And gets placed.
Do you think Pat should have... Oh, I guess he didn't want to do that first in case he got placed and then he wouldn't have been in range of Sam. See, I would have been like, oh, I want to make sure I do this before somebody comes onto the point. But
Definitely, because he could have needed both attacks.
Yep, very much so.
So the way things look, Pat can still get a big first activation round 3, and if he can manage to KO both Vision and Sam, that could be enough to turn this game around.
Yeah, Quinn, I don't have my tie on, but I have my classic Christmas picture. You can't really see it very well. Can you see it now? Quinn, I wore this for you, first day of Advent. Merry Christmas. I hope Santa brings you something.
Some new dice, perhaps, or a new computer.
Yeah, Quinn could use a new computer, apparently. He lost his game because of equipment malfunction, sadly. That was really
Sadly.
a bummer. All right, we have Mike's moving his Iron Fist down, and now back to the evac point, which also is disguising one of the portals. So he's going to get another point out of the portal.
Yeah. Netting him a smashing 6 points, as it looks.
Let's see if he flips it.
Or did Pat flip the top portal?
I don't think he did because he needed all the power for Iron Fist to go down and try to field dress him. But yeah, Mike flips it. Okay. So I believe that's all 4 portals to Mike.
Yeah.
Oof, full 6 points then.
Yeah, and Pat doesn't have characters close to portals currently, so and he's in a situation where he's gonna need most of his he's gonna need every action he can get to put put attacks into Mike's models. So we may very well see Mike score at least 2 or 3 portals also next round. Researcher should not be close enough to get within 1 of Pat's evac point. Otherwise, that would have been a huge mistake from Pat.
Right. So, round 3. The score is 8 points
8.
to 3.
Yep.
And Mike has moved the researcher closer to the evac point, but really not as the direct angle, more towards some of. Oh, wait, there it is. Beg your pardon. Yeah, moving it more towards the evac point. And importantly, in range of Iron Fist to contest it. I wonder if.
No matter how many rounds this game goes, I certainly believe that when this round 3 is over, we will know a lot about how this is probably going.
Just checking if Okoye took bleed damage. Pat's Okoye. Not sure. I thought she was on one. She did. All right, Finkster. Thank you. All right, who goes first then? Let's see. Pat's got. This is a big play.
Yeah, my guess would be Enchantress.
Sure. Try to blow up the world.
Maybe might even sacrifice herself. Another option is, of course, War Machine.
Bit of Rivals is going up. On to Iron Fist.
Pat needs a big turn now.
Yeah. This is what the people came here for. This is why you subscribe to this channel. This is why you mash the like button. For this kind of action. This is 225,000 subscribers worthy action. On a little table without much movement. Or sound effects. Or anything. Just raw.
One of these days, Norbert.
raw emotions from the two charismatic presenters and brilliant gameplay by two of the best players in the world.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we used to be able to only say that in War Machine during the WTC, really, where teams of countries would get together. But here, with the beauty of the internet now and the sophistication of this lovely TTS module that the Llama and the rest of the gang put together, we can really say that even in the singles event now, these are some of the best players in the world.
Definitely.
Yeah, Omnis, I gotta learn how to put my knee up, like that girl did. I could probably do it. But I need to get paid for that sort of action. Right. So Siren's called Vision down. He does not like Vision, and it looks like he wants to beam. I'm not quite sure about these arrows, but okay, let's see. All right. Vision's
beam into Stam.
Yeah. Now, Here's for Hire is off the table. And Luke Cage's Reverse Bodyguard's off the table. So he's going to have to suck it up. Let's see if he does it.
Looks like Lucky Wild is not paying for Vibranium shielding.
2 saves, though, so no problem. Now into Vision, who I'm going to assume is in energy mode, so has better defenses. Yeah, sure enough. God, those dice are not helping Pat at all.
Certainly aren't.
2 hits, which Mike saves handily. And she's looking to throw something. I assume into Sam.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well.
Yeah.
Taking away that leadership.
Or the beam first. Huh.
It's a Siren's Call on a Koi.
Yeah.
Um,
Getting her out of the action, basically.
yeah. I think this is mostly spending power
Before
to
generating
beam.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah.
So another beam into Sam, it appears.
Would have thrown something first, maybe, but okay. Maybe he wants to save the throw for
Possibly,
something
but
else.
yeah, maybe he wants to see what he rolls first to see who is the better target.
Yeah. So that's 3 hits
Yeah,
going through.
yeah. Making Sam a quite eligible target for the upcoming throw.
Yep. Vision.
Not a good roll
God. Whew.
at all.
God. I could smell the stinky dice from here.
Yeah. But Sam
Yep.
could
Here's
go
the
down
throw.
here.
Here's the throw.
Question is if he all you got's if.
Yeah. Right. Let's see what this throw does. This is a big dodge. So this would be 3 damage. He's got to dodge 2. His dodge dice don't get benefit from his ability, right? His shield. Oh my god. Pat's getting no breaks.
Oh no.
Ah,
That is not what Pat needed.
no.
That is not what he needed.
You do all you've got, sure enough.
Yeah.
He's beaming.
He's
He had to.
his hand is forced.
Yeah. Yeah.
He needs to trade Enchantress for both Sam and Vision here.
That's 2 hits, 2 saves already.
Oh.
This is ridiculous. Well, he's got one more attack coming through.
Looks like 3 hits. So he did get the 1 damage on.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Now
yeah.
the leadership will trigger.
For the final time.
Um,
He's gonna put Iron
which means
Fist in
that
range there.
he could get Lucky Wild could get the Vision out of
Trouble.
3. Yeah.
Question with the beams. If he hasn't, has he already, excuse me, has he already tagged Vision? So regardless of Vision goes, does he still get the attack?
He does, but he can move in such a way that he gets cover, for instance,
Sure.
or gets out of a all you got bitter rivals bubble.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's measuring, the bitter rivals. And he's moved
Like he
Iron
moved
Fist
Iron Fist.
further. So
Yeah.
outside of bitter rivals range, basically, but still
Yeah.
within 1 of the researcher.
Because Iron Fist could have been an eligible target for Pat's last attack with a enthrall, which is a mystic attack. So that is nicely spotted, and also simultaneously gets him out of the bubble. That is a great block.
I mean, seriously.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
3
1 damage going
saves, 1 damage going through. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Wow.
Question is now what Pat will do with his last action before she KOs. Getting rid of Sam's leadership is, of course, enormous, but with Vision still in the game,
Yeah.
Mike has a great opportunity to take out Pat Sam in return. However, one has to remember that Heroes for Hire is still in the cards for Pat.
Yeah. Is this a throw?
Mm,
4
looks
points.
like an enthrall, and that is a bad roll. Well,
Oh dear.
it's not a
A crushing roll.
tremendous. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, 3 hits out of 7 is close to 50%, so it's fine. So yeah,
It's stun and slow.
and
Put on
oh
him.
yeah, stagger. Ooh, that's
And
huge
stagger.
because
Okay.
the
Oh, we got
because
all
he
3
also
wilds. Oh my
yeah
god. Oh yeah.
yeah that was
Oh, amazing. Well, there's something of interest at least. I mean, I'm just looking for an interesting game. Where is she? You're all the way at the front. Sure enough, 3. Slow, stun, and stagger. Boom. Well, if you're not going to kill him, at least getting 3 things is 3 wilds as a consolation prize. Whew. So mediocre. Not horrendous, but mediocre activation.
yep.
Okay, Mike's looking at his bottom flank here. I think that's, well, it could be Luke Cage or War Machine activating. Oh, this is Koya moving based off of Sam's leadership.
Yep.
Which is a little bizarre about that thing where,
Yeah,
like,
it really should be enemy effect.
yeah,
Can't they just errata that like they did on last minute save?
yeah, precisely. Although all you've got is out of the picture at come 1.5, so maybe it doesn't matter so much.
They're still empty, the clips and bobs.
Yeah, and yeah, Bob, very good point. And also, like, if you beam yourself, for
Yep.
instance. So, yeah, you're right.
Or throw stuff into yourself.
Let's get it out of there. Okay, who is going now? All right, guys, let's take stock. I think Pat is under a lot of pressure. On the other hand, trying to look at the bright side at all, he's staggered vision with a lot of other effects on there.
Yep.
Still got Heroes for Hire, and he's wiped out Sam's affiliation movements. So he doesn't have to worry, and Avengers Assemble's off the table. So he knows now exactly where everybody could possibly be. Which is no small thing. This is
No.
part of the problem with Sam Spam is all the myriad of options that you have to consider. Yeah. See, the fans agree with me. This is why they come here. They want to understand wisdom. And they're all saying, yeah, wiping out the leadership was a big, keeps Pat in the game.
It
Don't
does.
don't
It
count
does.
him out.
Never count Pat out.
He's up
But
against the ropes.
he's still on the back foot, especially points wise.
Yeah. Yeah. By a lot. Ugh.
So this will be, even if Pat manages to claw back, this will be tight right up until the end.
Mike weighing his options.
Yeah, if Vision doesn't activate here, Hawkeye is very good at taking him out.
Yeah.
So maybe trying to do something about Hawkeye with Iron Fist, maybe. Who has an energy punch? Looks like Vision is going because the stagger just disappeared from him. From a
Yep.
shake.
Okay.
Ooh.
So what is he gonna do? Now that he's
Well,
liberated Vision.
I would. Uh,
Attack Iron
oh,
Fist.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, he knows that Pat has heroes for hire, so
Yep. Oh, that's
um,
what happened. Sam. He must have targeted Sam because Here's for Hire just got flipped.
yeah, and he paid to power up Sam. Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
so Pat will get to place Iron Fist within one of Sam.
Vision. Oh, I see.
Within
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Big pardon. See, and he's elected to move him closer to the evac point.
Yep.
So that side of Captain America, keeping him in the game.
Now let's see if Vision can one-shot Pat's Iron Fist, presumably with a Synthesoid Avenger attack.
Let's see if he spends the power. Oh, I don't think so. I hear
He
dice
did.
rolling. Did he?
I
Oh, yeah,
think
he had
did.
9. Yeah, he had 9.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure enough. And what does this do?
It's a 7 dice physical, I think, and the opponent does not get to roll crits.
That's 3 hits, including a wild.
That's not going to do it.
Not going to do it. Pat's roll to save, so he takes 2 damage.
Yep.
So,
And then gets to throw Vision. But Vision is in his phased...
density, right?
No, enhanced density is the anti-physical, I think.
Okay.
But he does not suffer collision damage
Right.
when he's in his phase mode.
So he's just moving him out of the way, so he can't hurt anybody else. Stay away from us, you bad man. Bad robot.
Bad robot.
Bad robot. That's a great little movie house logo thing. Bad robot. He runs around in that cornfield back and forth. Okay, Pat's up. No, sorry, that's Mike. Mike's done the vision. So why is he measuring still? What's happening? Pat's measuring now. Oh.
Yeah. So the only unplayed tactics card in the game is field dressing for Mike.
Yeah, maybe that's what Pat was measuring. The 2 inches for that.
Yeah, but none of the characters around Okoye there is Mike's.
Yeah. So he's looking at Hawkeye, trying to take out Iron Fist.
Would be a perfect character to finish off Vision.
Yeah, but don't you want to go after characters who haven't activated yet?
Yep, that is usually what you see from Pat.
Danger though, if he, well, let's see, Iron Fist has got 3 power, needs 5 more for the big attack. I guess he could get it by getting dazed though.
Yeah, it's always risky going for Iron Fist.
Yeah.
At least when he hasn't activated.
A bit of a chat, sounds like. See the little hands moving around, and Mike considering his options.
Pat, considering what to do next.
Hawkeye, maybe?
Yeah.
Hawkeye going to the back
Looks
point.
like he's looking for a hook arrow to see if he can get to within. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not.
It's an awkward cargo box again.
I mean, he's favored. The odds are in his favor to do 3 damage to Vision, but it's certainly not that certain to do 3 damage with 2 5 dice attacks. I would. It's probably above 50%, but not that much above.
Hawkeye. Yes, Pat. Who's he attacking? Okoye.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. Okoye does not have her martial artist online, and Hawkeye can pay power to ignore cover. So yeah,
Oh yeah, right. And Bitter Rivals is up.
this will though allow Vision to heal a point of damage and have a short move and remove
No,
a.
no. Sam's off the table.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I stand corrected.
Yeah. So that's two attacks, two hits rather, into. Okoye's going to reroll into one save, so she takes a point of damage.
Yep.
Just one.
She is within 3 of Iron Fist, which means she's under bitter rivals. Yeah.
And Pat's paid for the line of sight ignoring thing again, and
Mm-hmm.
rolled two hits, including a crit.
Yeah. Mike rolled big.
Of course. Yeah. 3. So it takes 1 point of damage. Okoye takes 1 point of
He has
damage.
a reroll still, so
Oh,
might be nothing.
might be nothing. It is nothing.
It is nothing. Yeah.
Oh dear. And hook arrow. Yep. Going back towards the
Yeah.
researcher.
Yeah. Placing Hawkeye next to Iron Fist is quite dangerous, since Iron Fist's normal strike is chi strike, is energy
Mm-hmm.
damage.
Pat going to try to flip the portal while he can,
Yep.
and does it. Barely. There's no small shakes, considering that Hawkeye's only got 2 dice he's rolling to flip that trap.
Yep. That's still 75% chance, as long as no one is contesting.
Okay.
All right.
So, this is Mike measuring his Captain America. Oh, there we are, down below. He's looking to see if War Machine can take out Pat's Captain America.
Yep.
We were talking about streamers before. I found another streamer on YouTube this time. And her channel is all about gunplas. Gunplas. They're these like they look like Robotech kind of action figures, quite large. Some of them that
Oh.
that you have to kind of put together, and they're really big in Japan because she goes and gets special ones in Japan or special orders them in somehow. I think she went to Japan even once.
Are they big in Japan tonight?
They're just no, they're always big. Gundam. Thank you, Quinn. Yeah, are those like action figures that look like big robots, basically, with like anime kind of look to them? Gundam. If it is, then that's what she's about. And she's got loads of subscribers. Loads of subscribers. Now, yeah. So there's some skill involved. He's saying they're like Airfix robots, right? There's some skill involved in putting them together. And here's the thing about her. So, you know, I don't know if it's by design or not, but she likes to wear low-cut kind of tops and has her camera on her monitor above her, pointing down. So you figure it out, right? But the kind of the thing about it is there's that. But if you actually listen to her, she knows her shit about these, you know, models in terms of what's come out, which ones are better, which ones are not better, which are goods costs, and you know how to put them together and stuff like that. Like she really knows her stuff, so it's kind of, you know, sad what the comments are about. Although thankfully there's loads of them that are about the topic at hand. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is the thing, Surly Ninja. You're saying that it's not intentional as a, sarcastically. But there's Iron Fist off the table.
There was, yeah, we saw a beam
War Machine.
from Mike's War Machine onto
Yeah.
both Sam and then he had a tremendous spike to do the last 3 damage to.
God, look at that. He rolled 4 hits, and Pat rolled 1.
Yeah.
1 save and 2 skulls. But...
Pat gets his leadership.
So yeah, Surly, you'd think that that's why she's doing it, to get the views, but she wouldn't have to. I mean, because her knowledge is amazing. She's like really into it, understands it, and can talk the talk, walk the walk. So I don't know. That's a strange one. You come across all kinds of stuff on the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, amazing. Who is it? I don't know. She's got like some. It's like it must be Gundam May or Maypa. I don't know. She's got long black hair with glasses. No, Surly, you're not going to be looking down my chest anytime soon. Until you pay. You're going to have to pay for that backstage access. Okay. Pat's back on it.
War Machine doing something.
That's he's focusing it off Okoye. Who does he got to? That's War Machine.
Possibly he changed his mind about the leadership.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. He's moving.
But then he should put 1 damage back on Sam.
Okay. You're saying that he took it off of Sam first.
Yeah, because Mike's War Machine did 1 damage to Sam, unless I'm missing something. Oh well, I would assume this is a beam from War Machine into Okoye at least.
Yeah. 3 hits, including a crit. Yeah.
Good roll.
Nope.
2 blanks that do not block. She goes down.
Wow. The reroll goes into a blank, which doesn't count at this range. Yep. So she does go down. There is a bit something. Pat must be feeling good about getting something out of there. And no affiliation movement, as we talked about.
Correct.
People want me to start an OnlyFans channel. I don't think that's gonna happen. Not when I have this competition. Well, maybe it'd be something. There's got to be some nerds out there looking for something different.
You think there are nerds looking at OnlyFans?
You guys should go watch Gundam May or something instead. I think you'll find that more satisfactory than me.
Okay.
All right. So War Machine's got another action, right?
Thing is here that Mike's Iron Fist is on his healthy side, whereas both War Machine and War Machine does not have another action, so that must have been a move, and then a beam from Pat, because the activated token is on War Machine now.
Sploosh is asking about the length of this game. It started bang on, I would say just about 5 minutes past 6 or so.
Yeah, so it's been 1 hour per round.
Yeah, 1 hour, 15 minutes altogether so far. About a week. I'm just thankful that this is being done at my dinner time as opposed to 9 o'clock at night our time. Makes it a little less a little more palatable. Although I'm running out of topics. I had a bunch of topics lined up to get us through this match. All I've done is successfully given 2 other streamers viewers now. Everyone's subscribing to them instead of here. Okay. And my little dash cam light bulb thing ran out of juice basically. So it's not I'm not even getting a good look out of this whole affair. We should talk about my Sin 7 list because it's going to sweep 1.5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your twos? Bullseye and Bob?
No. I had Bob's of limited use. He's much better than Sam because of the reasons we talked about before, where he can trigger it on a friendly effect, the affiliation.
Yeah, but he's affiliated in Cabal, right?
Yes, he's affiliated. But I'm thinking about adding Bullseye instead of him.
Sounds like a good choice.
And I'm toying with Winter Soldier rocking up.
Ooh, yeah.
You know?
He's awesome now.
Yeah, and he's a 3 threat. And he makes the roster work, the affiliation part of it. My only concern is he's another long-range activator, and I have a lot of shooting, which is a problem if people have stealth. I take Mark for Death, help mitigate that a bit. But, it's only 1 card once.
Yeah.
Roster Doctor says I need to play with Bob in my Sin Cabal. Dad jokes. I'm terrible at dad jokes. Asking for dad jokes. No. Real life events. I am got a tournament scheduled in London on the 12th. Yep, 12th of December. It's our final one for the year, which is already sold out. I'm very pleased to say. 16 people coming.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, people are giving me a lot of props for taking Winter Soldier. How you like that, GD nerd? You're behind the times, man. You gotta walk into 1.5. Yeah, I need the girl ring lights. See, I have one, Rylan, but it's not, wasn't big enough or strong enough to last for at least a Sam's game. Days Bob still triggers Sin's extract half of the leadership. Yeah, you mean like you could put Bob up next to somebody, and even if he's dazed, it still makes them drop stuff. Sure, I agree. I know that's pretty handy. Yes, I want to shout out the Madrid team. Madrid MCP community is running a tournament in January. I think it's the 3rd weekend, January. They're looking to host 40 people in Madrid. Seriously considering that until, depending on what the pandemic's deciding to do, because right now seems like we're in a bit of a flux stage of the damn pandemic again, which is annoying.
Yeah.
January event. Yes, we are running a January event at the Bad Moon Cafe in London on January 22nd. So tickets are not available yet. We'll do that after New Year's once everybody's sobered up from Christmas. But 22nd of January, Saturday, be in London, play the best meta in the United Kingdom. That's not on Longshanks. Ooh, Northern Visitors. Woohoo!
Fantastic.
That'd be amazing. Some Northerners come down. Let's see. Thank you. The Madrid folks are saying the 29th and 30th of January is the Madrid event. And SB, give us a contact. Like, how do people get to know how to find out about your event? Give us a link or something. Because that'd be the first big international event I know of. Okay.
Looks like we had a field dressing on Mike's Okoye.
Sure.
And then an attack into Pat's Hawkeye.
Yes.
She strike? No. Fly kick?
Seems like he rolled.
Probably needed to do a fly kick in order to get moved
to the researcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which Hawkeye, where's Hawkeye? Looks like he takes 2. Yeah, because Mike's rolling great. Per usual.
And now I suppose he wants to place Iron Fist outside of 3 from Okoye so that it's a bit harder for Pat to get the Ricochet Blast. Not Ricochet Blast, Ricochet trigger from his shield throw.
So, everybody who wants to go to Madrid, go reach out to Espi, ESPI, on the Discord. Or else you can, he's got a WhatsApp group, and he's just linked it in the chat. So go in there and join that chat if you're interested in going to Madrid, the first international MCP event. Hey, Xavier Protocols, you used to come to our events in London. What happened? Are we not competitive enough for you anymore? He's just down in Brighton, so it's not a very big trip. And he used to come all the time, but then he got a podcast and stopped coming. Right. Looks like Pat's Sam is going to activate.
Yep.
Hawkeye survived that exchange, but Okoye is back online. So all the cards now, tactics cards, are off the table. So no shenanigans left. Jacob, I hear you, man. That's cool. Jacob's trying to help protect the state of the COVID infections here in the UK by hoping staying closer to home. It makes sense. Hope to see you soon, though, buddy. As soon as this nonsense is over with. Had enough of this. When's this crisis over? This COVID crisis has gone longer than a Sam Spam game.
Yeah, now we got the Necronomicon.
Yeah. The Necronomicon variant. Yikes. There's a pinhead is going to show up.
What was it? What was you guys say? Klaatu Varata Niktu?
No. Don't call his name. We don't need that. Thank you. What is longer than a Sam Spam game, guys in the chat? What could you watch that takes longer than a Sam Spam game in an unrestricted environment by 2 very good but competitive players? Give me some examples. Hey, Huggy, you're in South Sweden?
Yep, that is correct.
Are you not north enough to witness the sun, like not actually going below the horizon during the winter, or do you still see it going below the horizon still, where you are?
Well, the thing is, Norbert, that the country of Sweden is like like 1,000 kilometers long.
Yeah.
Yes, and no, we don't have midnight sun in the south of Sweden. It's that only happens like real far up north.
Yeah, I've been up there.
And we don't have any polar bears in the streets either.
No polar bears. I've been to Finland, past the Arctic Circle, to see the midnight sun and the northern lights, obviously. And I got to see both, and it was awesome. It was, eerie, but awesome.
Apparently, it's even 1,500 kilometers long.
It's
so long that but I mean,
who can measure that much?
Yeah,
people gave up measuring after the first 1,000. Waiting for
nobody
Gambit.
lives there.
Nobody lives up there? No. You have the Lapland, the Lap Nation.
It's like 80 or 90% of the population lives in the southernmost third of the territory.
What's the bastion of civilization as you go from south to north? What would you say is like where is the edge of the wilderness?
Probably Gävle.
Gävle.
Yes.
Is that like the 3rd biggest city or something?
Oh no.
No, because what isn't Umeå second biggest?
No, not even close.
Uppsala
Maybe top. Uppsala is four.
fourth. Okay.
Yeah.
I when I was in the lab, I used to use equipment from a company called Pharmacia, and they were headquartered in Uppsala.
Fantastic.
It's probably the only reason I know that. And I know about Umeå
This-
because Johan Rundel lives in a Umeå.
Yeah, exactly. He used to live in Umeå. Now he lives in Malmö, which
Oh
is very
yeah,
close to me. So he's my local now
yeah,
since a year back or two,
yeah.
almost 2 years. Oh my God, this pandemic has had my time. My conception of time is totally skewed.
Tell me about it.
Um, Pat has just made a really good shield throw, which pushed Iron Fist short and then ricocheted off of him to do, oh, no damage to Okoye apparently,
No,
but still.
still clever. Okay, and that's the end of his activation.
Yep.
So
Apparently
Mike's,
so.
oops, Mike's got just Luke Cage and his Okoye left to go.
As far as I can see, it actually looks that Vision may live through this round.
Yeah, yeah. But people are saying that it
But
wasn't really important.
no, and Pat has fewer characters to activate, so he is likely to retain priority next round.
What about points?
Points wise, it looks as though Okoye surviving is actually very, very big because now Mike can actually just move her with his last activation to the researcher, and he's going to score it. So, yeah, that is going to net him 4 points because the researcher is going to move to be within one of the evac.
Yikes.
And that actually makes it so that as long as Mike scores, still has 3 portals. As a matter of fact, if Okoye double moves with the last activation, manages to flip Pat's home secure, then he has actually won.
Yeah.
Because then he will score 6,
No, but I
taking him to
mean,
14, and then automatically score another 2 by the end of round 4.
I see. Yeah. So Mike's hit Okoye, done some damage, and now he's throwing some barrels into her.
So to stop that from happening,
And
Pat
it
needs
dazed.
to flip at least 1 portal.
But he can't. He's done. That Okoye just got dazed.
Yeah. So not gonna happen. So then Mike's Okoye needs to fail, and Hawkeye is injured, so he is not contesting. So the next die roll could be for the game.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, even if it's not successful, it's still highly likely that Mike has got this, and he can even try with both Luke Cage and Okoye.
What's this move here?
This is Pat's leadership.
Oh, right. Got it. Okay, that leaves Mike Okoye to finish the round.
Looks as though we will have an American-Australian final.
Yeah. Wow.
And there has been some impactful dice rolls, to be sure. But I have to commend Mike's game here. Mainly, I'm impressed by his round 1, where he Pat did get the researcher, but he forced him to use a whole lot of resources to get it. Oh my God, is he not gonna flip the portal with Okoye?
Maybe he's already flipped.
It's Pat's.
Oh yeah, that's Pat's symbol. No, he's gonna try to hit Sam. Weird.
Yeah, maybe he's not
Didn't it do all the math?
I mean, there is the chance that he fails the roll, and then he wouldn't get the researcher. So
Right.
fair. Yeah. So yeah, the fair move. Not getting the researcher is a 6-point swing basically.
Yeah.
And he will still go to 15. So
Yeah.
yeah, they not sure if they even have to play it out, but this is semifinal, so for sure.
All right.
Yeah, so Mike's first round, he played very aggressively, made Pat use a lot of resources, and also taxed him cognitively so that he did not prevent a 4-man beam from vision, dazing 2 characters, namely Enchantress and War Machine, who are his 2 beam characters, Pat's 2 beam characters, and that was, of course, very impactful. And then he used the All You've Got to also daze um, Sam, I think. And so, yeah, Mike got a huge round 2 thanks to his aggressive placement round 1. And then he also caught Pat off guard with a Heroes for Hire, which was of immense significance at the time it was played.
All right. Let's see. War Machine lining up a beam. Pat's War Machine. He'd be taking out Okoye and Iron Fist. First attack. Rolls will be made. Not such a great hit again. 2.
Putting the bleed on, but if it's a Okoye, that's all blocks, yeah.
All blocks. No hits. Now into Iron Fist. Iron Fist needs 3 hit points to go dazed. It's a bit of a pause from the players. Now the dice are being rolled.
Yeah.
And, oh God, Pat, get it together. 2 hits only. 1 crit so far for the save, which I'm sure is going to roll into another save. Let's see. No, it doesn't. So 1 damage going through. Oh wait, is this Okoye then? So she's re-rolling. Sure enough, there's another save. Oh, that is aggravating. Second beam. Into Okoye. Okoye must have bodyguarded it earlier. Good lord, 2 crits on the save. And a blank. So that's 3, 4. That's 5 saves for Okoye. Oh, ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah. Pat Mike definitely played well, but Pat's gotten 0 breaks from his dice.
Yep.
0.
You can't win them all.
No.
This was not his game,
No.
and Mike has very well earned this.
Yeah. Yeah. No stupidity here. It was all well thought through.
It's technically over sploosh, but I suppose in theory. Well, Pat is running out of options for flipping the northern secure.
Oh
if
my God! Look
Sakurai
at that
gets...
hit. He's
Oh
got.
my
What the
goodness!
hell? I mean, seriously, Mike. Oh, good. Should
Not
throw
a
more.
bad block though, but still. Oh,
Four,
holy
five, six,
crap!
7, 8, 9. 9.
9.
9 hits.
Yeah.
Knocks out Sam. I mean, please. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
it is technically over, but I suppose Pat is not the one who forfeits. If there's even a sliver,
no, I don't see how it's
but
possible.
this is yeah, no, it's totally impossible now. The,
Yeah, you're right, Sploosh. I agree, and we've had this problem last game too. The game was over, but they kind of wanted to play through it for some reason. So we're just gonna watch people throw dice at each other now.
um, I, I I've noticed that a fair number of players consider it somewhat of code of conduct to play out to actually play out the game. And I mean, mistakes happen. Sometimes you think you can't win, but then you realize, oh, I can do this. So yeah, sure.
Sure.
Um, and we're all here to have fun. So
Let's see. Yep, Pat's still going. I thought maybe he was talking it over with his opponent, but apparently not. He's still going. Oh, well, looks like it's going to be Morgan versus Mike, which is Eastern Australia versus the Eastern seaboard of the United States. So I'm not sure what kind of time that's going to be, but I doubt it's going to be European friendly.
I what there was a final between Esmond, Morgan and Esmond, yeah, that time when Okoye one-shot Thanos. That was that was in the middle of the night for Europeans.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. So most of us will have to catch up on that via some sort of recording, hopefully, that people will make of the match. And there's Pat Sakoye going to the back point to try to get it. Does flip it. No skulls, so it doesn't get moved. She's done.
And she did flip the southernmost world. So there is actually a theoretical chance that Mike does not win this round.
He has to flip that southern one, does he?
Yeah. So, like, almost 90% chance that Mike will win this round. He has other characters who can do the same thing as well. Just Vision has enough power to move up, throw Okoye away, and have 75% chance to flip. Vision is still slow there, so automatically throw her.
And it kills her.
Yeah.
She's knocked out.
Yep.
And he'll try to flip that trap.
Yep.
Hey, Morgan's in the chat. 9 p.m. London start time would be amazing.
That would definitely work. Depending on the day, of course, but likely. teleportation got placed from the skull there. Um, So there's nothing Pat can do at this point. He can't flip more than 2 secure portals with Hawkeye.
He's just gonna shoot people.
Yeah, Pat's having fun now.
Yeah, it's just like maybe
he's
once.
He's savoring his last actions of TTS
Season 6.
Yeah, season 6. So
nope. Look at that roll. Yeah. So this is season 6 of the Tabletop Simulator League finals, and this is the last game before the actual final itself. And we've had 4 Sam Spam players coming through this. So, and playing similar crises as well. So it really does come down to outwitting one another.
indeed. And yeah, I think the Heroes for Hire play was crucial, because that's where Pat had his chance to claw back and have a big turn with Enchantress, but instead she was redaced after only doing 1 attack, and yeah, that that could certainly have been avoided.
Yeah,
but
that was.
It turns out that even the mighty player like Pat makes mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And as somebody else said, some people have probably been watching him play on various other streams, and so we're able to practice. Is that it?
A fun thing is that this means that we will have a winner of the TTS League who hasn't won it before.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Sure. Morgan has been close on several occasions.
Poor Morgan.
But, yeah. Maybe this is the time.
I think the guys are calling it at 16.
But I must say I'm very impressed by Mike's game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we go hop over there and have a chat?
Let's.
Okay, good. See you over there. Here we are.
With the rest of the beams you wanted to do anyway.
I don't know. Would that be for the best? I don't know. Interesting.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hey, how's it going?
Hey guys.
Good, good. It's me and Huggy here to ask some questions, if we may.
Sure.
Of course. Far away.
Wonderful.
Far away.
Thank you so much, both of you, for letting us stream the game. A lot of people are watching and very interested in this match, the semifinals of the Season 6 League. So, Pat, well, let's start with you. First of all, congratulations to Mike for winning it. Big match for you to win. We'll come back to that, though. Pat, wanted to talk a little bit about what you were feeling towards the end of round 1, where it felt like you were losing a bit of momentum there. Is that right? And what do you think was causing you having that problem?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I was on the back foot for the whole game. I think I made a couple of small errors in round 1, but then I had a sweet Enchantress play at the end that somewhat salvaged it. And then things really went downhill fast in round 2. I probably, in hindsight, should not have committed a Koye to my left flank on this side. On round 1, I should have just let Luke Cage play with himself, I guess, on that portal for another round and had one more body in the middle.
Yeah.
I do think, though, that it's slightly awkward being the first model to commit to the middle against the opponent, because it just gives Sam an opportunity to push them for free. As it played out, of course, my Sam didn't get the push, and that's kind of made round 1 even more awkward for me. But, I mean, I was really pleased with the play at the end, despite War Machine taking a big damage spike.
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy with how I was, and the fact that I rolled worse for portals overall. and so was down by one of those. I was pretty happy with how the end of round 1 went, despite those setbacks.
We've been watching your matches now a couple of times, and even some other matches as well. And the predominant theory that, or the gameplay that we've seen with Research Station is to really ignore the flanks secures altogether and just focus on the scrum in the middle. And that served you really well. But this game, it was quite different, where there's quite a bit of flank action. And what do you think of that?
So yeah, I think the difference is that with these pay to flips, once you've committed to them once, they're giving you a point every single turn. So if Mike telegraphed very clearly that he was going to send a character to each of them, and I think it's the right play because he knows that all things being equal, he probably can't contest the middle. But if I score the middle and only my home point, the score's 3-3. He can then converge all of his characters in the middle and keep cashing in on those side points. And they're scoring him a point every turn, and he's only having it negatively impact the researcher once over the course of the game. So I felt like I needed to contest them, and then my characters did an awful job of contesting them. So that definitely didn't work out very well.
Yeah. One of the things that we've seen you play, you're human, obviously, but you make very few mistakes. To our eyes, anyway, there was a crucial error in activating or field dressing Enchantress when Heroes for Hire was still on the table, which of course then shut her down. Was that just an oversight, or was there something more going on there?
Oh no, it was just a huge mistake, right? I was planning so many things, and one of the things that I tripped up on is in my mental planning, I was accounting for Iron Fist being a Heroes for Hire, but I forgot about Luke Cage.
I see. Yeah.
Classic mistake.
Yeah. Easy mistake to make. And yeah, obviously it really put a nail in the coffin, right? Because Mike's second term was outrageously good, right? He really had me coming and going. His vision play was superb and swung the turn incredibly hard. And field dressing Enchantress was my chance to have that turn break even.
Yeah.
And yeah, I screwed it up with Heroes for Hire, and that meant, things were going badly enough for me, and Mike was playing so well that big mistake really ensured that I wasn't going to get back into it. I think that was the point where the game sealed shut for me.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Last question for me, anyway, is were you taken aback by relatively aggressive Mike played turn 1 in terms of pushing his characters forward into the sides?
No, I think it's exactly what you've got to do. I played aggressive too, right? I had Hawkeye in the middle of the table. It's just, I think you've just got to, on Researcher, put characters forward. But certainly him having priority punished me pretty hard for that line, where he got that incredible vision activation at the start of turn 2, and I wasn't able to recover well enough.
Yeah. Okay, Hugo?
My questions are mainly for Mike.
Okay.
But I have one question for Pat that I thought of earlier. What was your motivation for picking the side that you did?
The side of the table?
Yeah.
We selected threat, picked our rosters, and Mike said, "Oh, I forgot to pick side." And then I said, "No, I'm the one that lost priority. I forgot to pick side." And then we said, "Oh, well, never mind."
Okay.
All right. Because I don't know, is there a possible backstop if the hauler was turned towards the red hauler is on your side?
Yes, there is. You can put a character here, and that's quite good. I do like having the size 3 terrain that Hawkeye and Captain Americans can stand on or behind. So I didn't hate my side spot.
Yeah. We were discussing it that you picked the side with the size 3s, and Mike was the only one who could throw size 3s. And given that you were advantaged to score the researcher round 1, you would sort of force the game away from those the threat of vision throwing size 3s at you.
Yeah, I think probably if I'd have remembered, getting the hauler side would have been marginally better, because one of the things it does in this particular matchup is it lets my team advance on the center. Some can be backstopped, others can have cover, and it protects them from terrain throws. But I think my side was fine.
Well, what was your thinking behind moving the researcher sort of backwards round one?
Yeah, I think that was definitely a mistake. There's so many options with the researcher placement, right? There's tons of different options. They all have different pros and cons. Generally, I do favor advancing the researcher aggressively towards the opponent, but I could see that the way things were positioned, that was incurring too much risk. Like, I was concerned that if I put things towards Mike, then he would too easily score it. And so I wanted to move it in the most conservative spot where I had the best chance of scoring it, because at that point in the game when I was making that decision, attrition was okay for me, right? I'd had the outrageous Enchantress play. I'd done quite a lot of damage, and that had evened things up a lot. I'd displaced his whole team, and his Sam was incredibly exposed. And I thought, okay, I can take the more conservative option, and I can try and play for attrition. But then, of course, Vision's activation immediately afterwards showed me the error of my ways.
All right. Anything else you want to comment about Mike's gameplay before we move on to him?
I think Mike played an amazing game. It was really, really fun game where we both had, I think, quite a lot of very cool and unusual plays and counterplays. And like I said, I felt like I was playing on the back foot the whole time, but I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Great. All right. Let's go over to Mike. Congratulations again, Mike. You're welcome. Let's start with your choice of you won priority. Why did you choose Secures?
I didn't want to play Gamma. I didn't want to give Pat last activation and Gamma and Enchantress. I feel like that game is going to be over for me very quickly. So it was a pretty easy choice, actually.
Got it. And have you been practicing or looking into how to manage the research station play with against another SAMS player? The reason I mention it is because you had to have noticed that a lot of SAM people like to play that particular crisis.
Yeah, and I assumed that's what he was going to play. I felt like if he concentrated, exactly what Pat said, if he concentrated on the middle, that I could keep scoring parity and hopefully tip the game in my favor through attrition. And if he spread the game out, that actually minimizes the impact Enchantress has, or actually did, because Pat had some amazing turns with her, but should minimize the impact Enchantress has because she can't be everywhere. And it gives my Vision an opportunity to do a lot of the same work that Enchantress is going to do. Slightly higher dice count, the throws, put in a little extra attrition damage, but obviously I don't have all those multiple bows. So my thinking was, let's try and spread Pat out, even the odds by making him focus on those flanks or give me those free points while we try and bully that researcher. Because if he doesn't come out to the flanks, or the turn he commits to the flanks, he's got to pull resources out of the middle, and that's the turn that I win the middle of the researcher, and hopefully start pushing it back in his direction.
I think the key thing that you taught the community with your choice of Secures is that you didn't choose the contesting type of Secures, as Pat pointed out. You chose the pay to flips that you can just leave after you're done with them.
Yeah. I wanted Pat to feel pressure to go contest those or to dedicate resources there, because I knew, or I assumed, he's going to put a lot of eggs in the Enchantress basket, and rightfully so. She's an amazing character. She just can't be all over the board.
Okay. Next question, and I'll turn it over to Hugo. We were intrigued by you taking both Luke and Iron Fist, Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Can you comment on that?
Iron Fist is just amazing because he's Iron Fist, and once you get those 8 power, you can smash somebody. I took Luke because I knew I was going to have to push a character forward early with priority, and Luke's pretty tanky. I can throw him up there kind of fearlessly, and then the hope was to get him back into the middle where he can start using Too Dangerous to Ignore to bodyguard shots off of Sam and my key characters. It never went that way because he left Okoye on the flank there, but I'm pretty happy to have a 3-threat character who's going to beat up on his 2-threat character and remove his bodyguard from the game. Like, that felt like a good use of Luke Cage's time, honestly.
For sure. Okay, Hugo, go ahead.
Yeah, congratulations again, Mike. I really want to commend your aggressive play on the researcher round 1. It looked like it really put Pat on the spot and forced him to do some some placements that did not take into consideration the Vision's possibility for an early Mega Beam round 2. But as you were talking about the side secures, it looked like you sort of aborted mission on that plan halfway through when because you were measuring Okoye after Luke Cage had failed the right portal, and then you decided to not go for it. Instead, you pushed hard for the researcher. So the aggressive play that actually managed to put you in favor, was it something that evolved over the course of the round, or was it the plan all along?
Look, I'm going to be honest. That worked out for me really well. I made it because I simply wasn't confident Okoye would reach the side. Where I had positioned her, I kind of went into this game, foolishly or not, just assuming Luke Cage and Iron Fist are going to pick up those portals when they're uncontested. And when Luke didn't, I thought, oh, I probably should have spread Okoye out a little further to the flank so I could make up for that error. But I hadn't. I had sort of planned to commit that foursome into the middle for Researcher and the back portal. And when I started measuring it out, I was looking at it, and maybe it makes it, maybe it doesn't. Where the terrain was awkward, where Luke was awkward. And I thought, I just got to do the sure thing and get her up onto the Researcher, because I know she's going to provide value there. Whereas if I move her out to the flank, she doesn't reach the portal. I've wasted an entire Okoye turn. She's way out of position and just not doing anything for me anymore.
Yeah. Very interesting, very, very nice moves a lot of the time. A few key dice rolls went your way here and there, but mainly I think you played an excellent game and are very well earned the spot in the final. Congratulations.
Thank you. I feel like both Pat and I did the things we needed to do to win, and the dice came up when I needed them. Okoye not getting pushed, put a puzzle in there for Pat, and then Vision just deciding to ignore blanks and shields on his dice and just roll monster hit after monster hit onto all of Pat's models. I mean, that's what propelled me forward. I positioned myself to do it, but the dice were on my side for those key moments, and that, I think, really made a big difference in this game. We play this game 3 more times. I'm not sure it goes this way.
Yeah. Well, Pat be the first to tell you, as all competitive players do who've been in the top spots, that there's always a bit of luck in every tournament that you're involved in.
Man, I'd rather be lucky than good, that's for sure.
That's right. Can you...
It's certainly a necessary but not sufficient condition.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about having to go into Morgan then, which will be happening in the coming week?
I don't know if he's going to watch this, but the only thing I have to say to Morgan is I certainly plan on trying to beat him so that next time he's podcasting, he doesn't forget my name. But no, it'll be a great game. I mean, Morgan's an amazing competitor, and he's obviously been in the finals more than once. So I've got my work cut out for me, but it'll be a hell of a game, and I really look forward to playing it. He's a real nice guy.
True, very true, on all accounts. You're playing out of the New York, New Jersey area. We were just curious about what club it is that you want to give them a shout out, and will they be helping you prepare for this next match?
I wish we had a good competitive scene here. My shout out goes to Shadow Marvel. He's been my sort of sounding board all season. We do a lot of roster tech talk during the day, and he helped me prepare for my match against Jacob. I don't think without him as a sounding board advice giver / co-captain of this roster that I win that game. So he and I are trying to get the scene kickstarted in the New York City area, but he's really been the one who's been taking this journey with me and helping me make some decisions pre-game.
Brilliant. All right. Well, I think the two of you have your work cut out for you. Luckily, there's a lot of games that have been
no doubt.
A lot of games have been recorded by Morgan or by other people who have watched Morgan play, so you have some reference material to deal with. So we look forward to the two of you working out a good day and time for us to anxiously see the crown. Somebody is going to be a brand new champion in the TTS Season 6 League.
Absolutely. Well, we will certainly let you know as soon as we can find some time. But between Australia and New York, it's...
Yeah, I totally understand that. I think everybody does. So, any final thoughts before we shut the stream down?
No, just Pat, extremely well played game. It was a real pleasure. You're an amazing opponent.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. It was a blast.
Wonderful. So thank you both for letting us stream and bringing it to the community at large. Thank you to everybody in the Twitch chat for being an amazing group of people to have a chat with about all sorts of topics in addition to commenting on the game. We really enjoy it, both Hugo and I. And Hugo, thank you again for coming up with me and streaming this game. I hope you had a good time.
Pleasure was all mine, Norbert.
Wonderful. All right, everybody, for watching. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you in the finals in the coming days. Take care.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.